Generally, one of the first questions we get when people come into town, into Texas, everyone's familiar with DFW, but the question is, they kind of ask the differences between Dallas and Fort Worth, right?
Yes, they do. Typically, when we go out of town, we recently took a trip to Mexico together and started talking to some of the people there. And obviously people start talking and strike up a conversation and, where are you from? Where are you from? Typically, when we say Texas, people are very familiar with Fort Worth and Dallas.
So today we are diving into one of those, Fort Worth, Texas. Fort Worth, Texas is west of Dallas. Depending where you're at, about 30 minutes or so. So they are still separated and then there's cities in between. But today we're gonna dive into everything about Fort Worth, Texas. We're gonna give you a good, broad overview of what Fort Worth is all about. But remember, stay tuned to the end because today, instead of like one of our wacky real estate stories, we're gonna tell you just why we do this, why it's important to us. So make sure you stick to the end so you can hear all about that. Hi, I'm Wendy.
And I'm Michelle. And if this is your first time to our channel and you like to hear about all things Fort Worth, Texas and beyond, remember to subscribe and tap the notification bell down below so you'll be the first to know about all things Fort Worth, Texas and beyond.
So you're looking to move in the next 9 days, 9 months, heck, 90 seconds.
Give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email.
Send us a smoke signal. We'll get back to you.
That way we can answer all of your questions about Fort Worth and beyond.
And make it a smooth move to Fort Worth, Texas. So Fort Worth is a very large city, covers almost about 355 square miles, and it is not only the 19th largest city in the US, but it's the 5th largest city in all of Texas. Now, if you've ever driven through Texas, you'll see just how large this state is because you'll go through other states, multiple states, before you'll even finish going through Texas. And it now sits just under about 1 million people. That encompasses all of Fort Worth. And Fort Worth is made up of...
It's just such a big, broad area. And we could probably spend days talking about everything that Fort Worth encompasses. So basically, East Fort Worth borders Arlington. East Fort Worth has a lot of residential areas, a lot of apartments. It's pretty much built out. There's not a whole lot of land. You won't find a ton of new housing in East Fort Worth. East Chase area is there. There's a Sam's Club and it's always crowded.
Yeah.
So that's probably one of the most crowded areas in East Fort Worth if you drive by on a weekend. North Fort Worth it encompasses a lot bigger area. The biggest part of that is the Alliance area. And there's so much to do over there. There's all kinds of shopping and restaurants. Alliance Airport is over there. They don't take passengers. It's more of a cargo airport. Directly north of North Fort Worth is Hazlitt. It sits very, very close to Keller, which is, according to greatschools.org, one of the better school districts in the North Texas area.
It has the raceway too up there as well.
Oh, so on the northest part of Fort Worth is Texas Motor Speedway. So they do a lot of the Indy 500 races over there. They do concerts and events over there as well. It's a very big, lively entertainment mecca of this part of town. And then when we go further west, it kind of borders Lake Worth. Lockheed Martin is over there. And Lockheed employs 155,000 employees. Now, they don't all work in Fort Worth. They're kind of scattered throughout the country, but it's one of the biggest employers in this North Texas area.
Yeah, they bring a lot of different people going in and out of Texas. So you'll see there's a lot of different residential places there, but then you'll also see places to shop and dine. But today we are going to focus more on South Fort Worth because that is more of a huge attraction. So one of the largest attractions for Fort Worth is the Stockyards. The Stockyards is comprised of a ton of history. You're gonna find a lot of history about the cowboys and everything that has gone on there, and you can look around and find that. You'll see a lot of shopping and dining and bars, and people go down there to have a lot of fun. One of a few things that stand out is twice a day they have a cattle run, and they walk longhorn. If you've never seen them in person, they're very impressive. Their horns are so huge and long, but they walk them down Exchange Avenue. And another really cool thing that I thought was pretty impressive, if you want to get a real rodeo experience, they have some great rodeos that happen down there as well. So the Stockyards is definitely one of the #1 things that people ask to see when they visit or when they move here.
I think another really big area is 7th Street area.
Yes.
And TCU is really close by. I'm not gonna say it's like a big party area, but I'm kind of saying that. But you'll see streets lined, 7th Street, 6th Street, all the way down. There's tons of restaurants and bars and just places where you can hang out. I don't think it's a super rowdy place. People behave themselves and it's pretty contained. But if you're medical school is close by. If you're one of those that has to spend long nights studying, it's probably not the area for you. But one of our favorite places to grab a snack is Herd's Donuts.
Oh, so delicious there.
So good. You'll never starve in that area. You'll never, be bored with nothing to do. There's shopping, there's a karaoke bar over there, and just a really cool area to experience when you're here.
And now if the party scene isn't your scene, there's also the cultural district that a lot of people enjoy. There are 7 world-class museums there. One of my favorites is the Omni. There's the Omni Theater, and then it has a museum with it as well. And at that museum, it's kind of more kid-friendly, but for big kids too, because I had a good time there with my nieces. But they have all these cool items that, you can learn how to make things fly in the air. You can lay on a bed of nails. That was interesting. They go through tornadoes. And then there's more history on the cattle of like the Stockyards and the Fort Worth area too. So that's pretty interesting. But the Omni Theater in itself is really cool. It's like, if you've heard of the new Sphere in Vegas, it's a mini one of those. So it's a sphere, and then when you walk into it, you have all the chairs that go pretty vertical, and then the screen is the whole globe, right?
It's definitely an experience. So I grew up in Arlington, and I remember back in elementary school, that was the big field trip to take. And I actually went there with my 4th grade class. And I remember they used to do it like 4th, 5th, or 6th grade, so we never knew which year we'd be able to go, and it was just such an exciting time. So much fun.
And even as an adult, I went, when I first was dating my husband, he took me to all things Texas because I wasn't familiar with everything. And I just thought it was so cool even as an adult. So I think across the board, pretty much everyone enjoys that. So you have something in Fort Worth for everyone. So as you wander on over, you come upon downtown, and one of the, I'd say, key features in downtown is Sundance Square. So whether you're looking for Starbucks or you just want to have some entertainment and look into the lights, there's beautiful lights hung everywhere. Or if you just want to watch like little waterfalls, they call it a splash pad there that goes up and down, and they'll usually have kind of music going to it. And there's a lot of area where, either kids can run and play, or you've seen people on romantic dates, or just families and friends walking around. There's something for everyone there. There's some good fine dining down there. And then there's also there's more in downtown too, right?
Riata.
Oh yeah. Riata is so good. You go to the top of Riata and you have a big dome where you can see the sky as you eat, and it's kind of like a fine dining restaurant, right?
It's one of the better Mexican food restaurants. I think they took a poll not too long ago, and it's definitely been on the top of the list for many years.
Yeah, and then right by that, if you wanted to do kind of like a dinner date or something like that, you could go to Riata, enjoy some dinner, some lunch, whatever time you want to go. And then right by there is 4-Day Weekend. And then a little further on the other side of downtown is also another comedy place, Laughs Comedy. And they are both so funny. Laughs will have different comedians coming through, and they go on different tours throughout the states or wherever they go. And then 4-Day has more of the same kind of characters that stay, but they're impromptu, that impromptu comedy. You can put weird, funny words and stuff on a piece of paper on the wall. They pull them down and they make a whole show out of it. So it's both of those are really fun to go to.
Oh, how awesome. I think one of my favorite places in that downtown area for entertainment is Pete's Dueling Piano Bar. Have you been there?
Oh, I still haven't been there. I've heard it's so fun.
So much fun. It's really good for just like a girls' night out or a date night. I went a couple of times with a few groups of people for bachelorette parties, and that was a lot of fun.
And there's like sports bars all around there.
Yes.
Or if you just want to go during the day, if you're staying, there's local hotels and you want to look around, there's a lot of shopping, and then there's good little boutiques and stuff. But there's isn't it the Hershey's morsel place where they have all the cookies and goodness, if you want to get a little snack on your walk. But if you kind of wander out of downtown and go south, there's also Magnolia Avenue. Now, Magnolia Avenue kind of has like this bohemian vibe, like this artistic vibe. And they recently built that up and it is really cool. You have a lot of different dining options. One of the ones we enjoy is kind of like a pub and they have different beers and stuff there, but it's the Bearded Lady. And you guys, their burgers are so good. They're on nice, soft, I think they're potato buns or something. And then you can get different kind of things to drink, whatever you like. And then there's also a lot of boutiques, a lot of artistic shops, right?
Yes, there's definitely a lot to do there. Anytime you go weekday, weekend, day or night, there's always a bunch of hustle and bustle around. You'll see a lot of people walking around, walking to work, from work. A lot of people live in the downtown area as well. And it's just a good mix of everything. I think I would best describe it as a good mix of like modern skyscrapers with a historical architecture.
Yes.
There's some condos in the downtown area that very, very pricey to live in, but I think, a lot of people think it's worth it. Just the views are absolutely incredible.
I was just thinking it's also convenient for like medical staff because the hospital district is just right next to that. So I think that's why there's, a lot of people that like to live in those, or they fix up the historical houses, either to live in or they've made them businesses. So there's a cool twist on those.
So it's a very lively place. Lots and lots of different people there. It made me so sad because I went a few times during COVID when they had shut everything down and people were working virtually. So at least for a good year and a half or almost 2 years, a lot of the restaurants there were really, really hurting. We saw that all over the country, obviously, but when it's right there in your backyard, it's so sad. A lot of people just didn't have what they had the years prior to that. It just was not lively. It was just kind of a dead area, but everything has picked up. We're very, very happy to report. And it's back to normal, bustling Fort Worth.
And Texans are always very concerned on, shopping local and supporting our local community here. So if you're a local artist or you want to move here, you'll have a lot of good support because that's the kind of community that you'll find in Texas, all throughout Texas.
So let's talk about TCU and the
Yes.
Horned Frogs. It is one of the bigger private universities in the state of Texas. In fact, U.S. News recently came out with the fact that they're number 98 on their list of all private universities across the country. The campus itself spans 300 acres. Can you believe that? And it's beautifully landscaped. Driving through, you see students walking around at all times of the day. The buildings are absolutely gorgeous. They take great care of them, and it's a good mixture of the older historical looking buildings and brand new buildings as well. In fact, they're building a brand new medical school, so that's a really, really big thing in Fort Worth right now. They actually have also 117 different degrees, undergraduate degrees that you can get, as well as over 60 graduate programs that you can enroll in as well. So it's a huge deal.
Yeah, definitely. And they're also big on local engagement. So they support a lot of different local organizations to get the community involved. They're very big on that. And then they compete in the Big 12 conference. So they are very competitive. But you know what? Anywhere you go in Texas, whatever someone's loyal to, they're huge on it. And they are very loyal and very competitive. But not only they're the TCU Frogs they're all the Frogs, but not just the football, but the baseball. There's all kinds of different gamut of sports that bring a crowd to that area.
Yes.
And a lot of people have stayed local over the years just because they love the atmosphere of all the fun and the camaraderie and all of that.
So I'm an SMU girl myself, go Ponies. And anytime there was a big game against TCU, it was on. Like the rivalry is definitely real. And we drive around as realtors, obviously, to all different areas. I mean, we drive 2 or 3 hours, each way sometimes, and we'll see houses 200 miles away with that horn frog sign right there in the front yard.
They love their horn frogs. There's a lot going on around TCU, but there's also a lot of people living around there. So nestled right around there are a lot of, like Michelle mentioned, a lot of the historical houses. Now people have fixed them up or kept them as is and live in them. And then some people have taken them and made them into their businesses. So that makes them pretty unique as well. And then you'll find the myriad of different kinds of residential housing in there, but we're gonna dive into that on another video for you so we can give you more details of that if that's kind of what you're looking for. But of course, as usual, we'd like to talk about the delicious food around Fort Worth. One thing that Texas, not just Fort Worth, is known for is its barbecue. And 2 of the biggest ones is Risky's.
Yes, love Risky's.
Delicious, so delicious. And then Heim Barbecue is another one too. And it's not just in Fort Worth, it's in a few other cities too, where they're just going now lately. The newest one is in Burleson, Texas, which is south of Fort Worth. So you're gonna find good barbecue joints all over the place.
I think the top 2 food groups that Texans feel are super important is barbecue and Tex-Mex.
Definitely.
So one of the biggest staples of the Fort Worth area, especially the South Fort Worth area, is Joe T. Garcia's.
Oh, so good.
Now, it has been reported that Elvis used to eat at Joe T. Garcia's back in the day. More recently, Matt LeBlanc has been spotted there, as well as several Harrison Ford and many other celebrities. So it's definitely a hot spot and a big staple here. Another good one is Uncle Julio's. It is right off of the highway. You can't really miss it, but their parking lot is always packed.
Now, if you're looking for some protein, some good steak, there is Del Frisco's. That's kind of like a fine dining one. But there's also Texas de Brazil. And if you've never been to one of those, they are so delicious. At Texas de Brazil in downtown Fort Worth, you have the salad bar that has a myriad of things. So you can get full just off of the salad bar. It's not just salad. There's a lot of deliciousness there. But then they come around and they shave off fresh steak, fresh ribs, different sausages, all kinds of different meats that are fresh off the grill. And that is considered fine dining as well, but they're both very delicious.
You know what I really love about the culinary scene in Fort Worth? I mean, we just have everything. I mean, we have everything from food trucks to really casual dining places. A lot of them are open 24 hours. So a lot of students like to study all night or go party all night. We're not telling the parents. And go grab something to eat. And you could find all kinds of cuisine within a very short distance. So whatever you're craving, it's definitely there.
Yeah, there's even like downtown home cooking that is just so delicious all around there. And then you have like the fine, and then you have all kinds of international foods as well. And then there's even places for food trucks. And then if you're not looking for dinner, you like to, make food at home, they also have some cool markets. So you can go get your fresh vegetables and all the other things that they offer. And they usually have some boutiques with those where you can get more than just food too. So Fort Worth has a ton to offer. You should be able to find something for everyone there. On to the good stuff. We usually tell some fun stories, either real estate or whatever. But today we just kind of wanted to include our why. Today I'm gonna go over my why. Why do I do this? Why it's important to me. And then on our other video, Michelle's gonna go over hers. But my why is simply I wanna do so well in real estate for a few reasons. Definitely want to be able to help people. That's what we both enjoy. Our hearts are really with all of our clients. Whatever your goal is our goal for sure. And that's what we're focused on first and foremost. But then behind that, I want to make it big in real estate because I have a goal in mind to buy land one day and to just kind of help build a whole kind of encampment for homeless people to help rehabilitate them back into society and just help them get to their goals as well. And just really pour back into our community and into people that maybe have just had a rough road. And so that's my why. Of course, you know, for my family and friends, but that's on my heart. I love loving on our clients, but I also love paying it forward.
I love that so much, and it's so important. I think that, you know, our people can really tell when our heart's really into it, and we love helping all kinds of people. First-time home buyers is one of my favorites, but it's really heartbreaking when we encounter like a divorce situation or like a single parent situation with kids, and they really, really, truly need somebody to hold their hand and help guide them.
Yes.
And that's what we're here for. Well, anyways, thank you so much for staying till the end. We would love to help you move to Fort Worth, Texas, and to meet with you. So give us a call or shoot us a text anytime. We would love to talk to you. Until next time, we'll see you around town.
Yeah, see you then. Bye.